Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 370 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. I just realized I'm wearing the swag. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every other week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a 5-star review, thumbs up, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where we got a lot of different benefits for you people. But the most popular tier is the $5 tier, which is the producer tier, which lets you watch us record the podcast live on YouTube, as we are doing right now. You also get a bonus episode every month. I'm too tired to do it tonight, but we need either. We can just jump on Zoom and do one tomorrow.
What?
What did I just say?
Bonus episode?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do Game Award predictions as just
Next week's episode.
not a bonus?
Right.
Okay.
Bonus episode every month. We're going to record it tomorrow, I think. And if you miss us on the live recording on YouTube, you get the podcast live on YouTube one day early. Some of our patrons deserve a shout out. Just like our patron saint, the man with the bar, named after him, Mr. John Tingley. As well as our affiliates, Derek Bamford, James Solar. Make sure you check out James Games and more on YouTube. He's recording a video right now. And Mom. As well as our producers, Steve Appleton and Dustin Downs. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, just like the one I'm wearing, which you can only see 80% of it because of my strap, the cockpit. You can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. I was thinking Metacritic, I think. Oh, Sean.
Yes.
I'm excited for this episode. We actually have news to talk about. We have a really fun game that I want to talk about, although I'm really pissed off right now based on what just happened. But, as is customary, we need a fantasy football update. Now, if you remember last time, we now have two leagues going. We've got the main league, which I hate, and we've got the guillotine league, which I really like right now. Sean's the opposite.
What's the payout? Is it like winner take all?
120, yeah.
120. That's not winner take all.
Wasn't it $10 and 12 of us?
No, it was 20.
20 for 10 of us. Holy cow!
But is it winner take all? Like
The
second
league's
place
free.
gets nothing?
The league's free. I think it's winner take all.
Okay. What do you mean the league's free?
We didn't have to pay like we do for CBS for the real league. I'm saying, like, to create the league and everything, we didn't have to pay,
yeah.
Yahoo. Yeah, Yahoo. So anyways, and what's crazy, I didn't even, because Joe Mixon went nuts, I didn't even end up with, it doesn't matter, but I didn't end up with the highest score last week, which I thought was a shoo-in when I had 136 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoever was won, I can't remember, but they got to like 155. Like, it wasn't even close.
Wow.
So yeah, Sean, on the other hand, was eliminated this week. Off with his head.
I had a good run. I think I was
didn't expect
bottom
that.
2 or bottom 3 every week.
No, I thought it was just those last two.
No, it's been every single
Really?
week. That first week, I fought off elimination with Malik Neighbors' last reception of the game.
Oh my God,
on Monday
that's
Night
right.
Football. That
Yeah.
got me above
Was
Perry.
that Pittsburgh?
Yeah. And every week it's come down to like the
Sorry,
Sunday and or Monday night games where I was determining if I was going to get eliminated or not. I made it to this week. Nico comes back.
Hey,
Nico Collins. I'm like, I just want to make it till then. Like, I kind of stole him late because he was injured, but I'm like, I got to make it till he comes back. And I did, and then I got eliminated. But I was in a weird situation where I had Nico in that league, and I needed 18 points to get above the second to last place guy.
To not be last.
In my main league, I was against the guy who had Nico, who was up 18 points. But I also had Rico Dowdle, who sucks. So, and it's the same scoring system. So whatever happens in one happens in the other. And like that first, did you watch that game?
No.
The first offensive play, he took a little screen pass for 75 yards for a touchdown.
And you're like, yay, but also no.
I was like, yes. I'm like, wait, I don't know.
But then it got called back.
And then I got called back, so it all meant
and
nothing.
then Mixon
But I'm
scored
like,
from like 50 or something, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm out. Back to focusing on just the one
You're like,
league.
I'm out.
But yeah, I don't know. 2 leagues, I don't know how people do it.
No, and
let
this
alone
is-
the people that do like 10 leagues. And it's like, I'm in, like, all like the fantasy football experts on Twitter, like, I was in 20 leagues and I made the championship in 7 of them and I won 2 of them. I'm like, well, good job. but you got
Congratulations. I
20
could probably
like,
do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. 1 league, put all your effort into it, and whatever happens, happens.
But see, I don't even think of this as another league. This is just like
It was like a side, yeah.
a side piece. As
side
Dad
piece.
was talking about. Why was he talking about a side piece?
I think
What
it was the cake.
Oh, putting
or
something
the cookie
together.
cake. No, it was the cake or the cookie cake or something. He said,
yeah, because
I just
Brittany
want
was
a side
losing it.
piece.
You and I can like
just
hold
give me
it
like
together.
a little side piece.
Yeah, we can hold it together. Brittany was about to die.
I just want a skinny little side
Yep.
piece. I'm like,
Don't we all?
I'm not gonna do it.
So yeah, and then I survived. When we look at the main league, though, Kevin's not doing so great. Kevin's getting frustrated. Kevin is now 1-5 in the last 6 weeks.
Really?
I'm down to 4-7.
Taylor has lost like 4 or 5. He's about the same. He's
Yeah.
like 7-4 right now,
Yeah.
and I think he was 7-0 at one point, or at least 6-0.
Or 7-1 at least. Yeah, maybe he got to 6-0 and then one
Yeah.
lost, or lost one and then I don't remember, but yeah. But I'm not out of the playoffs yet. I mean, I pretty much am. I'm in 10th out of 12th place, and 8 teams make the playoffs. I have to win my last 3. I don't know that I
and a
actually
lot of
have
help.
to, but I think I definitely have to, and then I still need a lot of help.
Well, that middle league division, middle division is like
Weak, right?
7-4, and then 6-5, 6-5, 6-5.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. You need one of those teams. If that stays
Somebody
with
needs to go
that
on a
level of
losing
parity,
streak.
it's bad for you.
Oh, but
If
now it's all division games, so they're all going to beat each other up. I need the division winner to
that's
beat everybody.
True. Yeah. So they are all going to kind
I
of.
mean, the division leader.
Yeah. That's tough.
I spent so much friggin' time. I created spreadsheets. You don't even understand. I had my manila folder. I did the Nick Wright thing, and I put all my notes on a manila folder. That's what I get for trying to be like Nick Wright and stupid Chiefs. I can't even get excited about the Bills win. And it was funny when I was looking back. It was funny it because we went out to dinner Sunday for my wife's birthday, and God bless YouTube TV. I should have switched a long time ago, but Sean had the game up on his phone, and the Bills go up a touchdown, and I'm like, why didn't Josh? It was like one of the coolest plays I've ever seen, and I'm over here like, why
They
didn't
were
you slide?
up 9 or 10 with like
a
a minute and a
10.
half left, and you're like, they're gonna lose. This is stupid. I'm like, they're not. They
was like-
might not score, and even if they do, they got to get an onside kick and still have time left to score again. I'm like,
But
even
this is why
I'm not worried.
Patrick
here.
Mahomes is Michael Myers. You have to kill him dead.
If they scored once, if they somehow got the ball back down 1 score with 15, 20
over.
seconds left, I would be terrified. But 2 scores with like a minute and a half. I mean, nobody's
I know, but
recovering
that
onside
13-second
kicks
game will never get out of my head. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, what was the point of that?
It's just fantasy football.
Yeah, but I
YouTube
said-
TV, watching the game.
Right, it was before that, though.
No.
Oh, I
Nick
think it was
Wright.
just...
You're upset about your
fantasy
research.
football. I hate fantasy football. Yeah, I spent all this time. I literally made spreadsheets, and then I found out after the fact that for some reason I couldn't find the exact stats and everything that I wanted.
That you spend hours manually
creating
collecting.
from websites and looking at every week and downloading every stat from every week and doing VLOOKUPs. And then I realized 3 weeks into the season, I'm like, oh my God, CBS does have exactly what I wanted. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it as soon as I took that Band-Aid off. Oh,
Kevin's got a boo-boo.
I don't got a boo-boo. I got a freaking, I got a ripped fingernail and I just, it hurt. I got to tell Jess I'm podcasting through these tears. Wow. Okay. I don't want to pick that phone up again. Anyways, I'm not doing it again. I will print out my list that's like a grouping that I like the Fantasy Pros website does where it's like an average. I'm going to print that off and I'm going to go to the draft. And I don't know what's going to happen.
I had I took my rankings and then I basically just highlighted players.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Top to bottom. That
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, in this group, here's the players I
color-coded
kind of
them.
want to target.
I color coded like, okay, this is this Red meant like this guy was hurt last year. Green or yellow or orange or something was like this guy was hurt 2 years ago. So he's a year removed from the. That's why I drafted Tony Pollard. I was like, people are letting this guy slide because he wasn't great last year. He was really good at the end of last year. He hasn't been. He's good. He was like the second leading rusher in the league as of a few weeks ago, and then he ran into Minnesota and who else? New England or something. Like a couple good defenses, and then he stopped. But I don't know. I hate fantasy football. I just had to talk about something funny first before we get into the rest of the stuff. I just want you to know, and I hate it because Colin or Dustin, somebody, whoever at Sacred Symbols, stole the joke way before I could. Most obvious joke in the world, but I was going to say this podcast is an Xbox. And they just, for their thumbnail for this week's episode, it said, this podcast is an Xbox. And I was like, son of a bitch.
This fart is an Xbox.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Long time ago. Bagel pizzas. I made pizza bagels, not bagel pizzas.
For dinner?
Yes. I did the Michael Scott without trying to. That was a series.
Oh my God, that just brought me back to college.
I was going to say, I would go to this place called The Hub on campus.
We had a place called The Bagelry.
Okay. It was just I think it was really the first time I ever had pizza bagels, except like probably the little mini ones. I would go there at least once a week. It was so friggin' good.
They were open till like 2 a.m.
Oh, ours was.
And so everybody would just go after the bar, and they had pizza bagels, which served open face, exactly what you'd expect a pizza bagel to look like. But they also had one, I think it was a buffalo chicken, but they just they closed it. They made it like a sandwich.
Buffalo chicken sandwich, but with bagels.
But with a bagel, yeah. Oh my God, it was so good. I love a good bagel.
The bagel is underrated. We're getting into a bonus episode now. What I'm saying is I realize it can go, like when you said that, I wasn't like, ugh. I was like, oh. But you don't think of a bagel to just make a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like you just think it's got to be a bun or a bread. A type of bread. A sandwich bread. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, so this is an Xbox. Tell me you've given up without telling me you've given up. When you put out ads...
Our Xboxes don't sell very well, but when you consider all of these things as Xboxes, they sell pretty well.
This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. And then they have like a cat taking a shit in a litter box, and they're like, this is a cat box. Well, first off, no, it's a litter box, but whatever. Like, this is not an Xbox. This is a litter box. I'm like, well, actually, it's a good metaphor for the state of your business right now, being in a shit box. It's just so dumb, and luckily everybody was making fun of it. Usually when it's Xbox, I feel like people only will dunk on Sony. They won't dunk on Xbox. This, I feel like it got dunked appropriately, but I feel like it should go on for a while. This is a Xbox thing. Like, I mean, they made a fridge. Is that an Xbox? All I think of is that stupid anime. I don't know what anime it is, but that meme where the guy is like, is this? And he's like holding up he's like, is this an Xbox? You know?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Totally unrelated.
Oh, okay.
But I was listening to Till I Collapse earlier. And I think I realized, A, I absolutely hear it. But B, I also think I realized maybe why you think he says, am I high? Perhaps. Because the next line,
till the smoke clear out.
Till my bones collapse.
Right.
Which rhymes with perhaps.
Right.
I never thought of that before, but perhaps and collapse rhyme. He doesn't say that, but I'm like, I kind of get why, because A, it sounds like it, and B, the next line ends in collapse, so perhaps rhymes with collapse.
Now I can't even think of what it really says, but in the Eminem song,
till my high wear out.
Am I high wear out? Am I high perhaps? Hey, at least I was on key with that one, it sounded like.
Yeah.
That was something I realized the older I got. I was like, wow, you can't just rap. You also have to be on key to rap. It's not just about like your cadence.
If you're
I don't sound like
you, because he kind of sings. But like Eminem is just like,
yeah, but I can go and I don't sound like him.
But you don't have to sound like him. You sound like you. It's just he sounds like him.
Good.
But he's not singing.
I mean, think sometimes there's some kind of something to it.
Some kind of something. A little bit of what's it?
A little bit of what's it going on here.
I have an announcement.
Oh,
not really an announcement. It's just something to talk about. last year. Well, no, this year, I guess, technically. Well, no, it was last year. When
God, that hurt.
Me and my 3 back home buddies were all
my
on the
back home
verge
buddies and
of
I
turning.
You thought
40.
you were going to get away with that. When me, I'm like, it just makes me. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Mom would.
When me.
We all do it.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
When my back home buddies, which sounds weird.
My backdoor buddies. Oh, my DualSense. That's what I was going to say earlier. Also, another thing I just remembered. My DualSense, my PS1 DualSense has shipped.
Oh, nice.
From PlayStation. I have not heard anything yet from Walmart.
Oh.
And I haven't canceled it.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
My back home buddies and I were all on the verge of turning 40 last year.
Yeah.
So we were going to do a big hurrah to, I guess, say bye to our
30s?
youth. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, just whatever.
To life.
And then it didn't happen. I still didn't get the full
This is
story.
An amazing story.
But we were going to go to Vegas.
Okay.
One of my buddies basically said, I got in trouble and I can't go now. And then it all just kind of fell apart.
That's got to be Brent.
Nope.
No, it was Jason?
Nope.
Oh, who else? Oh, Bucky?
Yeah.
I would think Bucky's always in trouble.
I forgot. We used to call him Bucky.
Yeah, it's Larry. I don't know why I said Bucky.
Anyway, so now we're all 40.
Oh, this is an Xbox. This is 40.
This is a microphone. So I said, all right, guys, it's been a year.
Are you still
Now
in
we're
trouble?
all 40. Now let's celebrate that we made it to 40 instead of saying, we're about to be 40. So far, I've gotten text message commitments. Vegas is out, but that's fine. But I think we're going to do Mardi Gras in March.
I was going to say, I don't even know when Mardi Gras is. Oh, yeah, it's right
First
before
week of
duh.
March.
Mardi
So-
Grabs. Thank you. all.
Madrid.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Whatever. I'm done.
Madrid Grass. But yeah, we're going to be going to New Orleans. I'm thinking I'm going to take the train.
Yes.
Have you done that?
No, but I've heard it's great. When we went on the cruise out of New Orleans a couple years ago over Thanksgiving, it was out of there, but it was just like we're already stressed enough from like just trying to get there. Like, I don't know.
So
I just
remember,
didn't want anything to go wrong. I wanted to be in a car because
Right.
we have to get on the cruise the next morning.
Well, so when we did our cruise out of New Orleans a few years ago, literally like a week after yours.
Oh, yeah, that's
because we like
yeah,
passed each other.
2 ships passing in the night, almost literally.
And I looked into the train, and I got overwhelmed quick with all the different options.
Like
and
the
either
cabins?
yes,
Yeah.
and either A, they've simplified it.
Oh.
B, they've improved their website to where it's the same
Amtrak?
information, but it's a lot easier to digest now. Or it was never that complicated. But I looked
Probably
into
the
it,
latter.
and you can just get a coach seat, which it looks like it's way better than like an airplane coach, like much more legroom. And there's no middle seats; it's just 2s. So you no matter where you sit, you've got an armrest at least. Round trip, it's like $120. Or you can get the smallest room, which is a roomette. It's like 3.5 feet wide by like 6.5 feet. And
So you can't even lie down.
I could. Well, and so it can be a bed, but I don't need a bed.
This
'cause
is a bed.
it leaves Memphis at like 6 in the morning
Oh,
and
okay.
gets there at like 2 in the afternoon. And even on the way back, you're back at like 10. Like there's no overnight there
then,
or back.
Then yeah, you don't need a room.
So I don't think I'm going to. That's like $200. No, one way. It's $400 round trip.
Okay.
I might do it on the way back, just to like
Decompress.
yeah. If I'm going to do it one way, I'm going to do it on the way back. But at least that'll let me, because you can't even fly from Memphis to New Orleans direct. You can fly anywhere you want, but you
Gotta
can't
go like through Dallas.
Who knows? But there's no direct flight.
You probably got to go east to Atlanta and then go
Probably,
back west.
yeah. And I don't want to drive because I'd spend that much money in gas anyway. Not to mention parking. Like I just don't want to have my car there. I don't need a car when I'm there.
You don't want to have to park for.
So I'm going
right.
to take the train, and it sounds like there's There's like a bar cart. There's like a dining cart. There's like a cafe cart. There's like
Can you
mostly
walk?
glass top, like just observation, like chill kind of cart. So I'm
You
like-
can walk between them. Is
You
it?
can.
It's not like Mission Impossible where you get like.
So it says you can walk between the cars on the second level. I don't know why only the second level, but yeah, I don't know if there's like a small part that's exposed. Usually on a
Probably.
train,
Maybe
you
that's
like
where they
open
connect.
a door,
Right. That's
you
what I'm
open
saying.
a door.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like that or this is like a better. I haven't been on like a long distance train like this. The only trains I've ever been on was from like Connecticut to New York, and that doesn't really count.
I've only been on one once, and that was one time we went to when Cindy and John still lived in Delaware. We took a train from Syracuse to Dover, wherever it was. I don't even know. We missed the train the first time because Jess's mom like left late because that's where Jess gets it from, and we like got it. It wasn't like as dramatic as a movie, but we probably missed it by like 5 minutes. It's not like we were running up like wait, but we literally just missed it. And then when we had to wait around and get our tickets changed and finally go, but yeah.
Did you like later that day or like the
Yeah, it
next
was later
day?
that day,
Oh,
but it was like a
okay.
few hours or something.
Okay. But yeah, so I'll get to check out Mardi Gras, assuming nobody gets in trouble or bails.
Larry got in trouble.
I never heard what happened. I'll probably hear about it on this trip. But.
Oh my god!
And
that's
basically, he
amazing.
said, "Sorry, Larry, if I'm airing your dirty laundry." He basically said, "Vegas
That's
is still
another
out,
phrase.
but I can, without hesitation." He's like, "I can do Mardi Gras. I can do New Orleans, but Vegas is out."
That's tame enough.
So I don't know what he did, but apparently Vegas was the deal breaker. But New Orleans, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in. I can do that."
So, airing your dirty laundry. I guess if you're mad at someone and you had their shit-stained underpants,
And you're, like,
you could
showing
put them
everybody?
outside. Look, he had skid marks. Is that where it came from? I don't know.
It's a good question. But yeah, so that'll be fun.
Well, have fun in Madrid grass.
Madrid grass.
Sean, have you played? Oh, we haven't talked about this since the last podcast. I don't even think because once I finished it, I was like,
Yeah,
it's out of
2
my
weeks
mind.
ago. I don't think it was out yet. Wait, what?
Well, no, not this.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
play anything besides this?
Nope.
You didn't get any more in Dominus?
Well, wait, 2
in
weeks
Dominus,
ago-
damn it. You had started
Maybe.
Portrait.
I beat Portrait.
Okay, cool.
I started
Ecclesia.
the bonus mode of
Oh.
Portrait.
Is that not awesome?
It's pretty cool.
It's
And
also
I'm
weird
trying-
when he's running like a million miles. I was
Yeah.
like, but it's also super fun. Oh,
I'm trying to. I'm going to be so lost when I go back. Like I didn't get that far. I think I did the first Portrait. Yeah, I did the first Portrait and came back. I don't remember what you get there. Oh, you don't get anything.
You don't
when
get
you're
anything.
him.
Yeah.
But I guess you have to beat all the bosses to like.
You still to finish that mode, you still have to do the 4 portraits, that boss fight, and then the other 4 portraits,
Yeah.
and then that fight, and then
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. That's where I left off. I'm going to be very lost when I come back.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like it better. This is the more fun way to play it. I like the game for sure, but like the bonus mode,
It's so much fun.
pretty fun. Yeah.
You're gonna love when you do Ecclesia, because that bonus mode, when I saw what it was at first, like the character you play as doesn't have attacks I wanted to use, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna be fun. This is not how a Castlevania should be. So much fun. Stupid, makes no sense, but like the whole, and I think I said this way back when I talked about it, but power fantasy 100%.
You have like a gun or something?
Yes, actually.
Really?
Yes, and it's freaking awesome.
Well, that was how one of the bonus things in
Bloodstain?
Fernex was.
Oh.
You're almost like a Contra guy, and you're just
Oh, I do remember you saying that.
and
Yeah,
it makes
yeah,
no
yeah.
sense, but it was fun.
Do you
But that
remember
sounds fun.
How that platinum was?
I
Because
don't
I only
think
played
was
it on
bad.
Game Pass. I kind of want to. I would like to have that in my library. I think
I mean,
buy
I
it.
would. It's a good enough game that I would go back and play it again.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, that's what I did with Bloodstain.
Yeah, I would. I don't think it was bad at all. There's no weird like some Metroidvanias get really
Yeah.
grindy.
Well, that's why I love the Dominus platinum. Was just like beat every boss you can, basically.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything weird like that. I think you had to beat it. Maybe you had to beat it twice because of all the branching paths.
Oh, that's right.
So it's you want to do a guide probably.
yeah.
Because I don't know if you can get yourself in trouble. Ooh, I chose this path, and then I chose this path, which locked me out of
now
getting.
I can't get to
like
that,
I
so
don't
I gotta
know if
play
there's
it 3
anything like
times.
that.
Yeah,
but I would definitely look up a guide first. But it's not bad. Actually, I don't know that you have to play the whole game. I almost think maybe the second time. I think there's an early decision you can make, and this is why you'd want to use a guide, because I think maybe I just lucked into it. You should choose one particular way the first time and beat the game doing that way, and then go back and do a new game, do the other decision, and you don't have to beat the game. I think I don't think it's 2
different
full
bosses
playthroughs
or something maybe.
But I would definitely go get the platinum. I just think it's a fun game in general, and I don't think the platinum was bad. But
That might be
definitely look up a guide, because I'm guessing there's missable things.
I'm gonna look. Speaking of look up, I'm gonna look it up right now and add it to my wish list. So when it's on sale, I will know. Maybe it's on PS Plus. Who knows? And I just don't know it. Because when I played it on Xbox. I almost said Xbox.
That's stupid.
$20. Wow, that came out Valentine's Day 22. That's almost 3 years ago that game came out.
Dang.
This seems like it was a last year game.
We need Infernex 2.
Are they working on something?
I don't know
I
who
was thinking
made
of the
it.
Chasm devs are working on another game, but it's not Chasm 2. I wish it was. So yeah, all I have played is this.
Me too, pretty much.
I am 32 or so hours in, and I'm level 36, I think. 35 or 36, I forget.
Wow.
Mario and Luigi Brothership, the game that IGN hates and everybody else thinks is at least good. It's only my second Mario. Have you played any other Mario and Luigi?
I think I've only played the original.
The GBA.
I don't think I played any more. I
This
don't know if there was that the only one that was on GBA?
Yes.
The rest were on
DS
3DS,
and then 3DS.
or DS,
yeah.
3DS. Yeah, I didn't play any of those.
I played the original also. Not back then. I played it on Switch Online when I upgraded. I still have shoulder surgery. My shoulder still hurts, so I'm not really sleeping at all. I'm on no sleep.
Are you still on the couch?
Yeah. Ugh. Jess is like, when are you going to get back in the bed? I was like, I don't know. When I don't worry about rolling over on my shoulder and going, ah! So, yeah, this is only my second Mario and Luigi. I really like it. Your thoughts? Have you watched Penguin? Nope. Okay.
No, I have not. I right now cannot go any higher than okay to good. Maybe it will pick up. I'm still in the first, whatever you want to call it.
So
world,
you haven't gotten
quadrant,
the speed thing
whatever
yet?
No.
Okay.
My issue, and I feel like maybe it gets better, is as of right now, one just nitpicky thing, although it's not that nitpicky for an RPG, a turn-based RPG game. I would think that by now I should be far enough into it where I've got some kind of attack available that hits everybody. And I don't know if you get one eventually, but I'm like, I understand it won't be as powerful. But when I've got like enemies that I can one shot, but there's like 4 of them, I'm like, I just want to do an attack that hits all of them. And then the other guy does his attack that hits all of them, and they're gone. And I kill them in 2 turns instead of 4. Little things like that. I'm like, I feel like I should be able to attack all the enemies, but maybe that'll happen eventually. I like all the tag team move things, but like if I'm Mario and I jump and I hit A and then I hit B and then I hit A, and that's like your main attack.
Oh, can you only jump so far?
I've got my hammer.
Okay.
But I feel like that being your main attack, it's not hard to pull off that combo. The button windows
they're very big
open.
in this, yeah.
And so it's almost like there's no chance. I'm like A, B, A, and then B, A, B. And each time I'm like, this should just be a run up and boing and be done. I feel like every attack, it doesn't really, but it feels like it takes like 10 or 15 seconds. I'm like, guys, come on, hurry it up. It's definitely not hard. I'm pretty sure. I mean, again, I'm in the first area. Maybe it gets harder. None of the worlds, which it sounds like, as far as the islands go, there's probably going to be like 20. Like, seems like there's a lot.
At least like 15, I think. But now I haven't. There's one more. There's one final area, and I don't know how many islands are in there.
Okay.
But I think I've probably gotten like 15 or 16, something like that.
So far, it just seems not very. None of the places and none of the characters are very memorable. There's nothing that, like, when I think back to Paper Mario, I feel like all of those worlds stand out. Mario RPG, I feel like a lot of those worlds stand out, and the character, like, whatever. This, so what it reminded me of, there's a little, again, Family Guy. You know, they do, like, the cutaways, like, this reminds me of the time where I blah, 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 and then they do this random thing, and then they come back. I don't remember what the joke is, but the punchline is, it has something to do with Stephen King. And how he can basically
Gave up on Dream Team. Everything felt like a chore.
He can basically just write anything and people will gobble it up. And so he goes to his publisher or whatever, and he's like, okay, Mr. King, what's your next book about? And
Wait,
he's
this
like,
is Stephen King or this is Stewie?
This is in Family Guy. Oh, yeah, Family Guy, but it's about Stephen King.
Okay.
And so Stephen King, he goes to his publisher, I don't know who it would be, but whatever. And he's like, okay, Mr. King, what's your next story about? And he's like, my next story is about a pipe. There's a pipe monster, and I'm going to kill you. I'm a pipe monster. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly. And that's kind of what this game feels like, where it's like, I don't know, everything's going to be like light bulbs and outlets and plugs, and like all the characters are like a plug. Every single island I go to, the characters all look the same. They just have different hairstyle. Like, that would be cool to have one island be like light themed, where everybody's head is a socket. Like, oh, that's cool. But like, so far it seems like that's going to be the whole game. Every character that you meet is going to look like that, except with different clothes and different hairstyles. I'm just like, give me a little more variety. Very nitpicky, although, and I'm starting to get the hang of it now, you can jump with, like, if you're in battle, you can jump with A for Mario or B with Luigi. Mm-hmm. It seems, I don't want to say counterintuitive, because no matter how you do it, it's a weird situation. I feel like if you're Luigi, you should be using B to select your action. Because when I hit A to say, yeah, go attack him, I got to remember the first button I now hit is B.
It doesn't happen to me anymore, but there was a lot where I was like, oh.
I mess up so many of Luigi's attacks
like 8
by
damage
hitting
because
A.
I pushed A.
Yes. Yeah. At least make it an option. I don't even know which one I would prefer. Either like how it is, or they should give you the option to say, okay, when you're Luigi, B makes your selections and A goes back. But I don't know. That might be even more confusing.
It might confuse you even more.
So
you'll get used to it, because I had the same thing happen to me.
Yeah.
So the funny thing, as much as I do like this, I do think my biggest complaint.
But yeah, so what Derek just said, everything felt like a chore. Not this game, but
Dream Team.
That's kind of how, like, every time I play this game, I'm like, it's all right. But like, I do one island and I'm like, all right, I'm good for now. Like, it is not hooking me to where I don't want to put it down. I can't play this game for more than 30, 40 minutes at a time before I'm like, all right, I'm good for now.
See, I don't know what has changed, because I definitely felt like that early on. When you get to the other seas or whatever,
yeah,
there are different biomes. There are different stories. Like, you do meet a lot more characters. They all do have the... Well, I don't think they all... No, they don't all. A lot of them have the plug aesthetic thing. But, like, people are, like, getting married and stuff. There's kidnappings. There's... some old characters come back. Some things pop up that I did not expect to see. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
You just sounded like Mario. Oh!
Can you tell it's a new voice? First time I heard him, I was like, okay, I can tell it's new. After it, I don't even think about it.
Not at first, but at one point I was like, wait a minute, that's not him, is it? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can kind of tell a difference, but he does a pretty good job.
The combat doesn't really change. So that is my biggest gripe with it.
So do I have all the attacks I'll ever have right now?
Basic attacks, yes.
So do you get like special moves or something?
Yes, you'll get brothers moves. You'll end up, I've got 4 for each of them. which are fun. Do you do anything with the right stick yet? Okay. So then the right stick does special moves when you're walking around. See, you are at the very, very basic part of it.
Okay.
So like when you're walking around, you might see a cliff and it's like, well, there's a question block over there. I can't jump that far. You're going to get a right stick action where you push like right on the right stick. It makes them do something together, and then you go from there.
What I will say, one nice touch, just so I'm not all negative, the stuff where I guess you push L maybe. I can't remember what you do. But where you can have Luigi like, hey, go break all those boxes or go pull all those three. I'm like, that's a nice touch.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to
do that while I... Yeah, exactly. So
Luigi,
that's a nice
you
touch.
suck. Go do the menial stuff. But then it'll also get to parts where, like for puzzle solving stuff, you'll use the L thing where there'll be like a button that you'll tell like Luigi, okay, go over there, and you're gonna have to go way over here, and then Luigi will pop up in like a picture-in-picture thing, and you'll tell him to hit the button, so it'll make like a platform move or something, and then you'll tell him to hit it again and stuff. The basic moves don't get different. And once I realized that what I was doing too much was just like, boom, I would go, boom, and then Luigi would go, boom, and I go, whoa, boom. I'm like, okay, or I would jump, set, jump, and I'm like, okay, because
like, I feel like you should just have a jump attack and a hammer attack. Have it play pretty similar to Paper Mario, where you time it
right
to do a little extra damage, and then all this like boing, pew, wee, boom. That should be like a special attack that does crazy damage, but maybe you have to build up a bar before you can do it. Like, I feel like those being your normal attacks take way too long, and these fights are just like, I see enemies, and I'm like, I know I got to fight them because I need to level up. That's how these games work. But part of me is just like, I don't want to do another fight right now. These take too long.
There was something about, see, now as you're saying that, now I know what it was that clicked for me, because it did get to the point where I was like, oh, am I going to be able to just, as Mario, be like, get a different jump that maybe is not as powerful, but it does attack 3 people or something like that. Like you can do, or your different party members and here we go, Paper Mario can do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't. But what I realized at some point, first off, you get so many coins in this game. Don't ever worry about using a mushroom to get your health back or something to get your brother's points back once you start using super moves and stuff.
Yeah.
You get so many coins in this game. I have so many mushrooms and stuff that it's even when I'm fighting some of the bosses. I have died a few times. They were all at bosses. I haven't even been close to dying outside of that.
Okay.
So yeah, the regular stuff is easy. Some of these bosses, it's like you're going through the level like dum-de-dum-de-dum, and then it's like the difficulty spike is crazy. And it seems like there's level scaling, I think, because everybody is usually my level or one below, or if I go back now to an earlier area and I'm level 30, some of them they stayed at like level 13 or 14. So maybe
I don't even remember being able to see what level enemies are.
Yeah, when you're selecting who you want and it shows their life, there's a number next to it.
I don't think I've ever even noticed that.
But once I realized, I keep getting myself off track. Yes, the combat was starting to get boring for me. I was avoiding enemies and stuff. Oh, I do like if you choose, I don't know if you've fleed from any fights yet, because sometimes I was just getting so annoyed. I was like, I'm just trying to get to that door right there. I don't want to fight this guy. And like I think it was in Paper Mario where you had like fill up a bar, like do something like that. This, you just flee and you get to flee. I'm like, okay, thank you. And when you get out of it, the enemy is like blinking a little bit, so they can't engage you right again for like, they blink for like 2 seconds or something, so it gives you time to get away. But I keep sidetracking myself again. Once you start getting the brother moves or whatever they call them, the super moves where you do them together. Well, I mean, you do every hit together, but you know what I mean? Like the super moves, especially the ones you get at the beginning, like you start out with your BP gauge is only like 20, I think, or something like that. But the first 2 bros moves you get, for one of them, it uses like 4 bro points and the other one uses 5. And what you realize is, again, because there's so many coins, once you start getting into battles and just being like trying out the bros moves, figuring out the time, the timings for some of those are annoying. The first time I tried every one of them, I was like, I just fell on my face.
Yeah.
But there is a little thing you can like hit Y or X and it'll show you a little quick demo. And I'm like, okay, this is good. I needed this. Okay. That will help. I think that's one of the reasons I've enjoyed it so much. My last, 25 hours or whatever compared to my first 5, was that I started getting a better hang of the combat, is what I would say, yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think back to what I see, and I don't know if I've missed it or if the game's like, just don't. I'm not going to bother explaining it because you'll learn about it later. When you fight, you've got your health, and then you have something else that I think is like a shell.
That's the BP. That's your
BP.
That's your brother's points, yeah.
But I
your
couldn't
bros
use
points.
it now if I wanted.
Correct. I kept going
I'm like, why is it a shell?
Yeah.
That to me means like it should be like defense, like a shield or something.
It
like,
is weird, yeah.
Why
it
is your
does.
brother's points a shell icon?
And
like,
also,
have
I
it
was
be
like-
a star or like... Why is it a turtle shell? That doesn't even make sense.
For a while, I started thinking, like, have I screwed up and, like, I missed, like, a story mission or something?
Okay,
Why
that's
can I
kinda
not
what
do
I was
super
thinking.
moves? Yeah. I think it's a character. You meet a character before you go, like, finish off that first sea. When you go
I'm
to the
also
Great
collecting all
Lighthouse.
those lumens or whatever, and they're like, yeah, these will be
Oh,
important
they're
later.
cool. That's another thing. I don't think I even wrote that down in my notes. So those are called
Lumen
plugs. Well, you can craft what are called plugs.
Okay, yeah.
Battle plugs, and they do things like you get increased defense for 10 turns, but then after your 10 turns runs out, it takes, each one has a different amount, but it might take like 15 turns for it to recharge so you can use it again. Or like
so it's just
hammer
another
attacks.
currency that
Yes.
Okay.
And it does, there's so many different things you can craft and stuff. It's really cool. Let's like versus presentation.
it's beautiful.
I love the art
I love the
style.
graphic. Yeah.
The only thing I hate, Jesus God Almighty, where's the switch to James?
Hey,
Fighting, especially bosses, took forever in Dream Team, and that game is like over 30 hours. I'm over 30 hours already, and oh, speaking of bosses, James has come. That I will come. What pissed me off before this? So, have you gotten any side quests yet or anything?
not that I'm aware of.
I like the side quests in this. Some of them have like, they all have a reward, either an item or a hammer or a jump, like boots or different gear, whatever. Some tells you what it is, some isn't. But as you get towards the, what did I say?
Some tell you what it is and some isn't.
I just realized that some of the side quests I had, as I'm getting ready to go to the final area, they're like, one of the side quests is you can go back and fight like the big boss from the first area. But now he's like supercharged. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm not very good at these games, but let's see what happens. Beat him on my first try. I was like, okay, cool. It was difficult, but I beat him. And then I was like, let me see if I get a side quest. And I got a cool, really good boots, like super awesome boots. That's not what they're called, but they're really good boots. And what I've done, I've kept Luigi with better boots and Mario with a better hammer.
Okay.
But I don't have it like so the other one has nothing. I have it just like Mario's got the best, Luigi's got second best hammer, and vice versa. And I was like, okay, well that wasn't so bad, and I got cool boots. All right. So then I go and I see the side quest. Okay, go fight the second boss again, a supercharged boss. Okay, cool. And you get a really cool hammer. I was like, hell yeah, now let's do this. I'm just gonna beat all these bosses again. This dude killed me the first 3 or 4 times. Like, some of the attacks he does, like, have you seen like the stuff from Tears of the Kingdom, the red stuff? Has that been there yet? Mm-hmm. There's this stuff called Gloom, or Gloam is what it's called. It plays a part in the story and everything. It doesn't matter. This dude was so tough. First off, like I said, I'm level 35 or 36. The first boss that I refought was like one level below me. I think he was a 34. Still way higher than he was the first time. This second boss, I'm a 35 or 36. Whatever I am, he's 3 above me. I can't remember if he's 38 or 39. I died like the first 3 or 4 times. I was like, what am I doing? I was finally starting to get the hang of, okay, when he does this, like, this is how I counter it. This, like, one of the things, he holds this big box and he comes over to you and he's like, and I'm like, okay. Boom, I hit him when I think I'm supposed to. It knocks him back, but then he drops this steel box on you and it does like 70 damage. I was like, what the frig? And then I figured out there's a little tell and you do that, blah, blah, blah. So after dying 4 or 5 times, I'm finally getting the hang of it. And then he puts up a shield that it takes 2 hits to break. Mm. So I'm like, well, I hit him with my hammer, and then Luigi jumps on him. The shield's gone, but now it's his turn. He does one of his attacks, and then he gets a second turn, so he puts his shield back on. It's a double shield. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Finally realized some of the bros attacks. I was like, oh, yeah, duh, they hit multiple times. Figured that out, got in a real good groove. I was fighting this guy for a half hour, and now you know how the story is going to go. I was fighting this guy for a half hour. He must have been down to like 5% of his health. I panicked. He's got this one move where he like rolls around the arena in like a barrel. Like the last 3 or 4 times before this that he had done it, I had timed it perfectly to jump over it. It goes fast and then it slows down so you can jump on him if you want. When he slowed down, I jumped too early with Luigi. And because I got greedy the turn before, I did a bros move instead of giving Luigi more health. Luigi's dead. And then Mario goes, oh no! And he picks him up, puts him on his shoulder. So now I'm like, please be my turn, please be my turn. And I'm like, wait, it's not going to be my turn. Because I'm picking him up, I know this guy's going to go again. And I'm like, oh God. And Mario's only got like 70 health. Or no, I had like 170. I had a lot of health with Mario. So I was like, I'm okay. He does this move where he'll like either roll a barrel at you, and you can tell which one it's going to be. He's either going to roll it or he's going to throw it. And if he throws it, it's going to bounce over your head. Just don't jump. And then he didn't do this the first time you fight him, but in the second time you fight him, after he throws them 4 times, he then just like bum rushes you. And you can hit R1 to guard. And you're going to take damage, but it's not as bad as just getting hit. Because I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can jump over this. And if I can, I'm just not quick enough to do it. And that was okay. And I was like, okay, good. Whew, I survived. I've got like 85 health left, whatever. I'm going to put Luigi down. I'm going to give him a 1-up to make him come back to life. And I'm going to give him full health in case I die. But I don't put Luigi down. This motherfucker is going to do a second turn. And then he comes up to me, and I panicked. He does this move where he goes like, boom, boom. He goes like, rah, 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 and he just turns into like this robot with this giant barrel, and he's got a bomb that explodes and makes it go boom, and he swings it like a hammer, and it's a 1-hit kill. And I had finally got the timing down the like last 2 or 3 times he did this, but because I knew he was so close, and I was like, if I counter this, I can get Luigi back to life. I'm going to beat him because even if he does the thing where he recharges some energy, I'll be able to get people healthy again and go back to it. I swung my hammer a split second too early. He squished me. Oh no! Game over. I was like, like I just spent a half hour of my life fighting this guy. I will not be going back to fight him for a little bit. I'm going to go back to the final area. I'm going to start doing that, level up a little bit, calm my nerves, and go back. But I know that's like people, like you're probably like, yeah, that happens all the time in RPGs. And I'm still the noob when it comes to this. So like, it was just really frustrating. So I hated that. But it's okay. Yeah, I said I like all the regular moves, our team up moves. It's cool, but I wish there was variety. Like I said, spoiler alert, there's not. The timing for the brother moves is kind of difficult sometimes, but that's okay. I got completely off track because James said he'd come. Love the art style. Think it's really pretty. When I'm playing this on my big screen, this game is not that technically intensive. The hitching and stuff, like we're not even a solid 30 frames per second on this game where I'm just walking around a world.
Yeah.
I'm like, God almighty, announce the stupid Super Switch already. This is ridiculous. I love this game. It doesn't detract from it. And the few times when I've actually played it handheld, once I found a right Joy-Con that doesn't drift. Also, I found out one of my other right Joy-Con that I have. Remember when we went to the beach and I thought I lost all my games? Well, apparently also somebody dropped that Joy-Con because the R1 is like broken in half. And you have to use R1 to get to like the side quests and stuff. Click doesn't work anymore. Like, son of a bitch. So yeah. The music is fantastic in this.
Yes.
The one song, or what would you call it? When it's just instrumental. The one, what's the word? Not a collection.
Instrumental.
No, but the composition maybe. I don't know. The one song, I'm just going to call it a song. It's a song. You don't have to sing in a song. Do you have to sing a song?
No.
Okay. I can't sing a song. I can. It's bad. The level up is so good.
Yeah.
I love it. But I also love it when it's Luigi. And sometimes I will just let it sit there for like a minute and see this dumbass over there going... doing his dance
to Donald Trump
with his one leg up in the air. Oh my god, I love it so much. One of the things that's also dumb in this, have you been separated at all from Luigi? I forget when that.
I don't think. No.
It is so stupid that these two people, why am I talking about people? That Mario and Luigi have separate XP because I've been separated from, you get separated from each other so far once in this game. Oh my god, actually I think it was the very opening of the game. When you're looking for him.
Yeah.
But no, there's no battles or anything, was there? Or was there? I can't remember. Oh, there was, because I was like, oh my god, I thought this was a Mario and Luigi game. What the hell? Yeah. I think that's the only time I've been separated in the 35 hours I've played this game. So it's like, why do we have separate XP when it's you're there are some times when Luigi will, or no, Mario will level up one fight before Luigi does because he's probably got 12 more XP or something. But it's just that's so stupid. Yeah, we need a Super Switch.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, have you had, speaking of the L stuff where you can tell Luigi to go do something, have you had Luigi logic happen yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That will also happen in some of the boss fights. I love the boss fights in this game. And it's not, I like that it's not just the big boss of that area. Oh, thank you, PlayStation, for the final invoice for my controller. I think the boss fights are fun. All I'll say is Luigi logic also plays into the boss fights. And when it happens, you're like, this is all. Also, the whole Luigi logic thing is just freaking hilarious because this dumb. I don't picture Luigi being the smart one for some reason, but when it's like, he's like, and he's like spinning around, and then, oh my god! Also, when these two idiots are talking to somebody, that's perfect. I was going to try to do impression, but I can't do it any better than that.
That's my Luigi. Mario's like,
and then they're like, and then I love how the stupid pig thing is like, I think you're right, Mario. I think we do need to go over there and do that thing because he's just going like, it's so stupid, but it makes me laugh almost every time. And they're both so expressive with their words. I love it.
their words.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, it's almost like, are they speaking English?
It's like Charlie Brown.
I know. Yeah, his teacher. I have had a lot of fun. This is another one of those games. I would have got the platinum in Tears of the Kingdom because I wasn't going to find all the seeds. But I pretty much, or not, what are they called? Yeah, the Korok seeds.
Yeah.
But I pretty much did everything else in that game. Well, but I didn't get. How do you upgrade your inventory slots in that? Was that the Korok seeds?
I think so.
Yeah. So I didn't get all my inventory slots and stuff. But I basically did everything that matters in that game. I'm finding myself in this game wishing that Nintendo had trophies because, like, I don't mind floating around and then it's like, if you get to the point where you can, like, find reefs and show somebody, you'll just find, it's a statue out there, like of a Goomba or something. It's like, there's like 25 reefs in the whole ocean, and that's one of the checkmark things. I'm like, there's a reef. If it tells me I'm approaching a new reef, I got to go run over to the cannon thing and go look at this. Do you get anything
for it?
You do get something for, like, the first 3 and then 5 and then 10 and then 15. I think I found like 16 or something of them, but I don't even remember what it is.
Okay.
It's just, I like checking these boxes, I guess.
So there was a thing in like maybe the second, I think it was the one with like the dancing guy, the DJ or whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's a thing where there's like a ball and you have to hit it back and forth, and it's like, try to break 100. Did you do that?
I didn't even try it, no.
Okay. I got to like 70 something, and then I tried like 4 or 5 more times, and I never got above like 50, and then I again, got to about 70 something and I quit. I'm like, I don't know, I'm done. Whatever you get from this, it's probably not worth it. But you didn't do it either.
Have you done like the dance mini game with that guy?
There was something that I thought was going to be a mini game, and then it never really happened. There was something. Oh yeah, you had to. Whatever it was very easy, and then it's like, okay, good job.
BAYX.
Yeah, it was something like that.
I failed that like the first 2 times or something. And then when you get further in the game, there's one of those, like after a story mission that's like 30 of them. Mm-hmm. I failed it twice, and it's like, do you want to put this on easy mode? I said, yes, I do. Thank you. I still missed one of them, but you can miss like 3 and not fail, but I still missed 1 or 2.
Yeah.
What else? Have you gotten to... So when you're leveling up, you know how it, like at the end of the line, it'll go like 1 through 7, and then it'll show like an icon.
I'm at 7, so I haven't even...
Okay.
The next one is when something, I guess, will happen. I don't know what that is.
What it happens is, so there's 4 different levels. So I've now gone past the last one. But it's like after 7, 15, 22, 30, or something like that. When you get to those levels, not only do you level up, but then it unlocks things that you can choose from, and it tells you cannot change this later. Are you sure you want to do it? So like in the first one, you can pick like every time I level up, I get 1 more HP or 1 more defense or 1 more bro point or whatever. Or what I chose was you level up faster. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do that. But then every 7 or 8 levels, you get to choose another one of those. And then it'll like increase your hammer power by 25%. So I did that for Mario, and I did the 25% power jump for Luigi. You know what I mean? So I like that. That's cool. So yeah, you'll do that. The next time
I was wondering what those were.
I still will never understand why in RPGs, I feel like if I level up, give me my health back. Maybe I'm a noob. It doesn't do that in the that was annoying in the 3 Castlevania games I played. I remember it was annoying in Symphony of the Night. There's something that just tells me when I level up, especially
it seems like you should, yeah.
But I kind of get it in Castlevania because it's happening. It's happening in the middle of a fight, so I get it. But like Mario, okay, you've now finished that battle. You've leveled up, and I go back to the main screen, and I'm at like 20 HP. I'm like, well, come on, man, really? Like, just refill my HP. But again, there's so many coins in this. It's not, you're going to have plenty of items. And then also I like, have you found any of the, you know how you jump up and you hit the S to save? Have you found any of the heart boxes? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually when you find one of those, well, you'll know when you're about to go in a boss fight, basically.
Right, yeah.
Have you had any bosses? There was one that happened early on, but I can't remember when it happens.
I don't remember doing anything that was that, if anything, a mini boss.
Like a bird?
That sounds...
The Snapter? Like a giant bird?
Maybe not.
I can't remember when that happens, if that was in the first section or in the second one.
When you said bird, I was like, that sounds familiar, but I can't picture it.
I mean, I say bird, he's like a pterodactyl. Whatever, but yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just thinking you see it fly overhead.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But no, I don't think I've fought him yet.
What else? I've only died at boss fights. Don't run out of coins. I do like the story is so, like the overarching thing of what you're trying to prevent in this world is so corny, but so wholesome and so Nintendo that it's just funny. Like, but I do like I think as you go on, I think you're going to keep liking it more and more because that's what I did. Because, like I said, after the first few hours, I was like, I don't know about this. What Derek was saying about Dream Team was ringing in my head. I was like, man, I hope IGN wasn't right. The more I play it, the more I like it. I'm actually wanting to do the side quests. I'm wanting to go back and do the optional boss fights and stuff like that. You know,
yeah.
The characters are great. The writing is funny. For a while, I was like, am I going to see anybody from the Mushroom Kingdom? And I mean bad guy stuff, like Goombas and you know, Koopas and stuff. Did I hear something? They end up showing up. And it's some of it's not like Sea of Stars or The Messenger levels of writing, but for a Nintendo game, the writing's pretty good. I think it's like an 8. Now, I don't think it's better than Thousand Year Door, but I'm already thinking of my Game of the Year list, and I'm like, I do think Thousand Year Door is a better game. But I'm almost like, I almost don't want to put Thousand Year Door on my list because I've got more than 10 games that I've played this year. Thousand Year Door, I don't know. It's so freaking good. I'm like, it shouldn't even count this year. But I don't. It's our
The way
so
I
who
mean,
freaking cares?
Yeah,
but
it's our thing. We can do whatever we want. But the way I look at it, I mean, it'll be on my top 10. But I think for you, it's not really a remake for you. A remake, like this is your first
that's
experience
true.
with
it's like
the game.
me playing Metroid Prime for the first time last year.
That time I did.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a.
So I would say,
oh, the trombone game.
I would say count it like it's just a new game.
Yeah.
I would probably, I'll still count it, but yeah, I might, maybe I'd bring it down a point or two because it's a game that I already know and love and whatever. But for you, it's a new game to you, so I would absolutely
What have I played? So I've played the Mario RPG remake. I've played Thousand Year Door. I got all the way near the end, I think, of the original Mario and Luigi, and I fell off it because Castlevania came out or something. I can't remember what it was. Now I've played this. That's all. That's the only Mario RPGs I've played, right?
Yeah,
it has to be.
Pretty sure.
I think I like it better than Mario RPG. As much as I loved that game was so just, I was just happy to play it, and it was awesome and funny, and I just like this game better, though it does have some faults. I think I like it overall better. Or at least as much. It's definitely no Thousand Year Door. That game completely lived up to the hype for me.
Yeah.
And it was just fantastic. But yeah, I'd probably give it about an 8 where I sit right now. It's funny that people were saying like the average time to beat was like 34 to 35 hours, and I'm close to that now, and I haven't even gone into the last area yet. And I'm like, am I just bad? Like I definitely was not leaving this game running, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. And they track. I do like that's another thing I like. Of course, I like this in every game that does it. That your save file tracks the time like to the minute and the second. Like you've been playing for 19 hours, 37 minutes, and 12 seconds. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you keep. I think you will start wanting to play it even more.
I'll definitely stick with it, and I've played enough games to know that I can tell that this is not, while it may not be my favorite Mario RPG game, it's clearly a well-made game. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to pick up. I know it's going to. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to stick with it. Right now, it's like a 5 or 6 for me. But I also kind of know that I'm almost 100% sure that by the end of it, it'll at least be a 7 or 8. Yeah. It's just like, it's almost like Death Stranding, where it's like you just got to get through chapter 3. I'm just like, I know, eventually it's gonna get good, but like I'm having to like really. I haven't played it in like 4 or 5 days. Like I haven't had a whole lot of time. But like there's no like I get home from work, I'm like I gotta play it. Like it hasn't hooked me yet. I play it when I've got free time and it's convenient. I'll play it, but.
You're really close to it starting to get better because you're going to get the Bros power up, the first one, pretty soon. You're going to get the faster sailing pretty soon.
Yeah. Just
those things alone almost makes it like a new game.
Okay.
Mario and Luigi Brothership. Holy crap. We've been going over an hour. I guess I did like talking about this game. So yeah. Anything else, Sean?
Nope.
That's it. Mario and Luigi Brothership. Really like it. But yeah, like I said earlier, we actually have some news to talk about, Sean. So you want to get to the news of the week?
Let's do it.
I've got a really good idea to put something else on this. I just got to have time to remember to do it. I have time to do it. It would take 5 seconds.
You need
I
time
just have
to remember?
Yeah, because once I remember it...
Tell Siri.
No, because I don't want to spoil it to you.
Oh. Just say, Siri, remind me to do the thing. Nope, not you. Stop it. I'm not talking to you.
Remind me. No.
all of my series started activating. It's going to do it again.
At 9 Set an alarm for 9 a.m. to remind me to do the thing with the Stream Deck.
Okay.
My favorite part of iOS, or the AI, is
Siri.
just that.
It's so much
it just looks
more
so
appealing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Android owners are like, we've been able to have a boom for a long time.
Is that what theirs does?
I don't know. Gemini. Sean,
Yes.
Sony is apparently in talks to buy Kadokawa. What is Kadokawa, you say? Not the word I said the first time.
I was like, is that really how that's pronounced?
But they are the parent company of a little company called FromSoftware. This comes from VGC. Sony is reportedly in talks to acquire Kadokawa Corporation. Reuters. Why is that Roy? EU.
It's like a German thing.
Oh, yeah, duh. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Deutsch, DEU, right? Yeah, there you go.
Deutsch
Citing
bag.
two sources familiar with the situation, reports that talks between Sony and Kadokawa are ongoing. It says that should the negotiations prove successful, a deal could be made in the coming weeks.
Dang.
Sony declined to comment on Reuters' Reuters report, while Kadokawa said it couldn't comment. That's just funny to me. I'm sorry. I just can't. Kadokawa is a Japanese media conglomerate which owns a number of companies specializing in book and manga publishing, film production, DVD sales, farts, and cross-media.
DVD sales.
I know.
They're on the
I thought you were saying
cutting edge of-
because you already smelled that or something. I was like, that was quick. Of greater interest to video game enthusiasts, however, is that Kadokawa also owns a majority share in FromSoftware, the studio behind Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Sekiro, No Space, and the Dark Souls games. Should the acquisition be successful, then Sony would therefore also own FromSoftware.
I was wondering why all these were blue. I'm like, is that just mine?
No, it's the way I pasted it this
Okay.
time. It kept
Like,
all
are
these
these,
links,
like-
and I didn't feel like going back to
Okay.
it. Kadokawa also owns Dwango, which is like Dwight,
Duango.
a Japanese telecoms and media company which owns developer Spike Chunsoft. Most recently responsible for Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Sparking. I want to call it Sparkling Zero.
Sparking! Zero.
Oh, yeah, that's dumb. Earlier this year, it also brought Acquire, the Tokyo studio known in recent years for Octopath Traveler 2, and Mario and Luigi Brothership. Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny that they're going to acquire somebody called Acquire.
And
It's weird that Nintendo would have,
that they
Well,
made
no.
Brothership.
because they didn't own the guys that did. What's the name of the company that did the 3D Zelda remakes on 3DS, and then it came out. It starts with a G. Grezzo. They did the 3DS remakes of the 3D Zelda games, and then it was revealed that they were the ones that did what's the new one called? What's it called? Echoes of Wisdom. They made that, but I'm pretty sure Nintendo bought them. But I think Grezzo was separate when they were making the Zelda remakes. But anyways, it's weird that they would. It is weird to me that somebody would make a Mario RPG that was the watch the thing. No, Jess said I want to watch the end. I'm on, but how do I watch Grizz Game? I found it. I want to watch the end. I am losing my mind. Kadokawa. This might be one of those nights where you get to read. Kadokawa's share price shot up overnight as a result of Sony acquisition reports, closing at an increase of 23% to yen 3,745.
Yes.
An all-time high. This turnaround is notable given that earlier this year, Kadokawa's share price dropped by over 20% following a cyber attack in June in which ransomware gang claimed to have hacked 1.5 terabytes of data from the company, including private information of employees. Why are people bad? Never mind. So, there's been a lot of whining about this. And I don't have the energy or the want to go back and look at some of the people that are complaining about this, saying it's not fair that Sony would own Elden Ring, and then I can't play it on my Xbox. I guarantee you people that are like, you've got in your profiles that you're a true Xbox gamer or a real gamer or whatever, I guarantee you if I go back and search your tweets, you were hemming and hawing. No, you were happy. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You were cheering, you were applauding, you were rooting for Microsoft to buy acquisition.
Roiding.
You were roiding. You were raging. You were rooting for them to buy Activision, to get Call of Duty. And you were like, yeah, go.
Because that's good for the...
That's what I'm saying. But now it's like, whoa, this is too far. And they're going to own mangas. Like, they're going to own anime stuff. That I have seen a lot of people saying that that's one of the issues they don't like. I don't know what you're asking. I don't even know what she's asking. This is so annoying. Now they have it split. I found the Grizzlies game. Ugh, this is so annoying. Now they have it split into 2 games. How do I just watch one? I don't know what you're even saying. Oh, multi-view. Hold on. Let me help, Jess. Oh, multi-view is on. Click on one of the squares. No, rectangles. Rectangles. And it should open that game. Send. That sounded like a question. What are your thoughts?
This seems strange to me. I'm totally like, go for it. I don't care. I would be very upset if it was Xbox. But if Sony's going to do it, like, totally fine for it. But what's weird, I thought this came up a while ago. And then people were like, and maybe, I don't know if this was just the rumor mill or what, but I remember hearing about and possibly talking about how that would be a huge, like, not that Sony can't afford it, but like FromSoft, I mean, it's not like buying Activision, but that's huge.
Well, it's not that.
And now they're not even buying FromSoft. They're buying the company that owns FromSoft, which is even bigger. And now apparently it might happen within the next week or 2.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we were talking about them just buying FromSoft, it was like, you can't afford me.
Right.
Now they're going to just... If it's they bought the bank.
I don't know if it's because of what happened. Is that a Justice League joke?
It was yes.
Yeah. You didn't even know the joke you were making.
I knew it was Batman.
Okay. I wonder if it is because those talks were definitely before June, and then this whole ransomware thing happened in June, and their stock prices plummeted. So I
bet it was Sony that
they probably did, or they paid Phil to hack it. I did see one. Like I don't know how much Katakao is worth. But Hogue, who works with Colin and stuff and is a lawyer, tweeted something about it, and people were like, "Oh, you're Sony fanboy," and he's like, "No, this has nothing to do with whatever," because he was, he did a lot of videos about the Microsoft Activision thing and everything. But he said, actually, basically what he's saying is, what I'm more worried about is how Sony is going to be able to afford this and not go out of business. So apparently they are still worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like.
Well, they can do it because if they buy this company, they're still going to sell games.
Right.
Unlike Activision, where it's like, just give us $10 a month, yeah. You can have them all that you want. Like, they'll still sell millions of copies of games for $70 a piece, and they'll make their money back.
So the last big acquisition that Sony did was Bungie.
Yeah.
In terms of dollars,
yeah,
$3 billion. I don't think they're going to pay $3 billion for this. They paid way too much money for Bungie. That was a bad idea. But one of the reason I bring that up is they let Bungie for a while stay independent. Destiny 2 still, all the expansions are coming to Xbox PC. They're coming everywhere.
Okay.
Are they going to keep... Is Elden Soul... Oh, my God.
Elden Souls.
Elden Souls. That'd be a good one for the sequel. Is Elden Ring 2 going to be on Xbox?
I think so.
I think so, too. I think we're in a new era. I don't think Sony is ever going to have God of War on Xbox, but I think these companies that they purchase separately, like Bungie, like FromSoftware, they would be dumb not to put it on Xbox.
What I don't get, when you have a company that's just a company, like, if I buy this from you, I say, here's $5, thank you. You have money, I have this. But if I just buy you, I give you a lot of money to buy you. But now I have you, so I also have the money that I just pay. Where does that money go? When you buy a
they're publicly traded, so they pay out there. It goes
I guess
to the investors. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. But I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait, where does that money go if you just bought... I didn't buy something from somebody else. I bought the bank. I bought them.
Yeah, they're not buying Elden Ring, the IP from FromSoftware. They're buying FromSoftware. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Also, maybe we get Bloodborne on PS5 because of this at some point. I don't think Bloodborne 2 is ever happening, though.
No.
Next up, Sean. Like I said, we actually got some news to talk about. This one comes on IGN. Phil Spencer did some interviews this week. With Microsoft's multi-platform video games release strategy in full swing, some Xbox fans are wondering whether flagship exclusives such as Halo will ever make the jump to PlayStation. But according to Microsoft's gaming chief, Phil Spencer, there are, quote, no red lines in its first-party lineup. Microsoft has so far used older games released over a year ago for its multi-platform push as opposed to brand new games. But that will soon change with the release of Indiana Jones. Microsoft will launch Machine Games' hotly anticipated Xbox game on PS5 just a few months after it launches on Xbox and PC this December. It's the latest first-party Xbox game to make the jump to a rival console. We know the games that already did it, blah, 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 blah. Microsoft also announced in June that id Software's upcoming Doom: The Dark Ages will launch on PS5 next year. That's another game that's a 2025 game that looks freaking ridiculously awesome. Next year's stupid. We thought 23 was good. 25 is going to be stupid. You might actually like Death Stranding too. I know. Spencer said Xbox's multi-platform push is in part about bringing in more money, to Microsoft's gaming business, with the pressure now on to deliver following its eye-watering $69 billion. That is ridiculous that I just said that amount of money. Acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard last year. Quote, we run a business, Spencer said in August. It's definitely true. Inside of Microsoft, the bar is high for us in terms of the delivery we have to give back to the company. Because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing and what we're able to go do. So I look at this. How can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow on console, on PC, and on cloud. It's just going to be a strategy that works for us, end quote. It's pretty clear at this point that Xbox's console exclusives are no longer priority for Microsoft's gaming business. But are there some Xbox games that are considered so sacred they'll never launch on PlayStation? Speaking to Bloomberg, Spencer said every Xbox game is up for grabs when it comes to making the multi-platform jump. Quote, I do not see sort of red lines in our portfolio that say thou must not, he said. Halo on PlayStation would perhaps be the biggest Xbox game to go multi-platform so far, given its association with the console over the years. Not over the years, since it was a thing. It was like when Sonic showed up on Nintendo. It's like, what the hell is happening? Last month, tech experts said Halo's move to Unreal Engine 5 would make it easier for developer Halo Studios. Nay, used to be. What that means used to be. I don't know if that's what it actually means. But that's what I translated to.
Yeah.
343 Industries to take Xbox's flagship first-person shooter multi-platform, including a launch on PS5. It's too early to make any sort of decision on the next version of Halo, Bloomberg quoted Spencer as saying. This is crazy. It is so... This freaking guy, first off, this guy. Oh boy, I cannot wait for Starfield to come out on PS5. Not because I want to play it, because it's going to be hilarious when the thing that was never going to come to PS5 comes to PS5. And not only that, it's got a PS5 Pro patch, so it works better than it does on Xbox. We're getting Halo
100%
at some point on PlayStation. There's been all these rumors about Combat Evolved getting a full ground-up remake. Not just a remaster, a remake. Especially with the move to Unreal 5 and all this stuff. I'd be fine if they just put out the Master Chief Collection. I'm going to buy it. If it's $40, if it's $70, I'm going to buy it. What I don't want them to do is put out Halo 1, and then Halo 2, and then Halo 3, and then, well, then I can stop because it sucks after that. But it's not crazy to say we're getting Halo. We're going to get Gears of War. We know we're getting Indiana Jones, although, I mean, it's Bethesda, so that's whatever. But, like, we're going to get Forza. What else is there? That's Xbox franchises that are important.
And therein lies the rub. I know, so I'm doing my best to not speak as a Sony fanboy. But what I am not is a first-person shooter enthusiast. There's not a whole lot on Xbox that I really care about. Master Chief Collection, I would maybe buy that because it's Halo, and even I can appreciate Halo. Gears, maybe to probably. Forza, I don't care.
Right. I only bought Gran Turismo 7 because I got PSVR 2.
Yeah, like most of these games, like I don't care. I'm excited for Indie. I think that's going to be good. But like just being like, okay, everything on Xbox is now open to come to PlayStation.
Over, yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can't think of a single game like. Even Halo, I'm like, I'd probably get it, but if it never came, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I can just that just like gets me excited because it's going to come to PlayStation. Nothing. There's stuff that I would play, but nothing that I'm really all that excited about.
I think it's Halo for me more than any. I mean, I know it's Halo for me more than anything, but the reason for that. It's just something that should not even, it shouldn't be possible.
The thing that should not be?
Yes. Those we don't speak of. The Dementors. Gears is the same way, but Gears is not Halo.
Right. Halo, like Master Chief, is Microsoft's Mario. Yes.
Like whenever Sony maybe hopefully eventually makes PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale 2, is Master Chief going to be in that? You know what I mean? Like, I will buy the Master Chief collection or the Halo remake or whatever it ends up being just for the sure, I can't believe this is effing happening. Just for the sheer part of that. Just for the sheer that of that.
Yeah.
Some other notes that came out from this interview as well as some other ones. Phil did confirm a handheld is coming, but it's still years away. Sony?
Well, you've already got a handheld Xbox.
Well,
this is an Xbox.
This is an Xbox.
Yeah.
I got an Xbox
There's already
that fits
an
in my
Xbox
hand.
handheld.
Sony, your move. All I want, PS4 level of power, maybe a little bit more powerful, or PS4 that like can play PS5 games, but it downscales them, or it plays them at the PS4 level, but then up, whatever. I don't care. Now that Xbox has said, yeah, we're doing this, and I'm sure Sony is always like they're planning the Vita 2. They're doing R&D. They're always going to be looking at this. I would imagine. But with the Switch going to end up being the best-selling video game console of all time, and with Xbox admitting they're working on a handheld, it's your move, Sony.
Yeah.
All I want, all my digital game, like the Steam Deck works because the Steam Deck takes your whole Steam library, except for a few games that aren't compatible. You can play them on the go. That's what I want for the Vita 2, the PSP 3, whatever they're going to call it. That's what I want. PS5P. PS5 Portable. Persona 5 Portable. Royal. Also, Phil did confirm, shockingly, they're still looking at acquisitions. But he said, we're not going to be doing any big ones like we did. If you believe anything Phil says, I know I just said I'm excited about Halo coming to PlayStation, but if you believe anything Phil says, it's a big grain of salt. You better be taking it with. He did say the Xbox business is healthier now. Well, yeah, when you shut down a few studios and you lay off hundreds of people, your business is going to be healthier. Good job. He also did tell Rolling Stone in an interview that, quote, we'll definitely do more consoles in the future, end quote. So even though they're doing the this is an Xbox thing, they're saying they're not getting out of the console business. He also said in that interview that he said something to the effect of again, this is Phil Spencer talking about both. Basically, he was referencing the PS5 Pro, and he was asked about mid-lifespan refreshes of Xbox. And he said, we don't really need to do that to make ourselves feel better or something like that. I'm like,
you
bullshit.
Just did it
you
last
made the,
gen.
what was it called? The One X.
The One S.
No. X.
Yeah.
This is the problem with using X and S. They just sound the same. Like, you literally just did it 7 years ago or whatever it was. Remember Project Scorpio, most powerful Xbox. Whatever. I don't want Microsoft to get out of the console game. Competition is good. It can't just be Sony and Nintendo because they're still playing two different ball games. Sony and Xbox, I mean, really, they're playing different games now at this point as well with Game Pass, but I'm glad they're planning more consoles. I hope Sony follows suit in making their own handheld. It doesn't need to be like Switch. I don't need to be able to dock it and do all that. I probably don't even need it. I don't travel. Where do I go? You know what I mean? Like, I already have it, George. It's hooked up to my TV. I can play all my games. But
yeah.
Anything else on those other points, Sean?
Yeah.
Last but definitely not least for me, I was so confused when this happened, and not for the reason you probably think. First place I saw this from was Windows Central. Well, this is not me. This is the article. Well, I sure as heck didn't have this on my bingo card for 2024. Hideo Kojima's wild and wonderful Death Stranding is now available on Xbox Series X and S consoles, complete with Xbox Play Anywhere support. This is an Xbox. With Windows 11 and the Microsoft Store. Death Stranding is blah, 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 blah. Death Stranding is an open world, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't need to read everything about the game. Death Stranding is a unique and fantastic game that admittedly might not be for everyone. But even in its opening hours, it delivers atmosphere and immersion like few beyond Kojima can. The game is grabbing a sequel. That's not a sentence anybody... The game is grabbing a sequel.
I've never heard that said.
Dubbed Death Stranding 2, which once again is exclusive to PlayStation consoles. The arrival of Death Stranding 1 on Xbox Series X and S begs the question if Death Stranding 2 is truly permanently console exclusive now, though. Why did you have to put it though? It would be odd to launch...
Windows Central. Like, who wrote this?
It would be odd to launch Death Stranding on Xbox with zero intent to launch its sequel there as well. Here's the interesting part. I heard this from Colin first because I didn't read all through this article. I didn't need to. I was just like, holy crap, it's on Xbox. But I'll tell you why I was confused. The fact it's almost 5 years to the day Death Stranding launch suggests that there was some kind of timed rather than permanent exclusivity deal in play here. It remains to be seen what could happen with Death Stranding 2, but considering Hideo Kojima is trying to develop into a multimedia franchise with a movie in tow, putting the game in as many places as possible seems to be the most logical step. All right, now this is me talking. They said the fact it's almost 5 years to the day Death Stranding launch suggests that there was some kind of timed rather than permanent exclusivity deal in play here. Yeah, no kidding. It wasn't, what did they say? Almost 5 years. It was literally November 8th, which is the day it came out 5 years ago. So like Colin pointed out, obviously there was a 5-year exclusivity deal on this that no one knew about. What was confusing for me was when I read this, I was like, am I dreaming? Not because it's on Xbox, but because I swear to God, I thought it already was. Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Like when this came out, I was like, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden I saw the Discord like blowing up about it. I'm like, wait, is this a bigger deal than I realized? I'm like, it didn't seem like that big of a deal to me, but I guess that was kind of a surprise. Not so much that I thought it was already out, but that we knew that it was going to be.
I thought it was already out. I ended up realizing what my issue was. It was that it came to PC Game Pass.
And that's an Xbox.
Now it is. It wasn't then. Even though it was, I guess, because it's got Game Pass. But it was just, I was equating PC Game Pass to Game Pass. So when I saw this, I was like, what year is it? Didn't we already know that I thought it was already over there. Like when Director's Cut came, it came out on PS5 first.
Has anybody created an image that shows a PS5 and says this is an Xbox?
Yes.
No,
yes, Sean.
Crap, okay.
That was the first thing people were memeing before Colin said this podcast is an Xbox. It's just weird. So clearly it was a 5-year exclusivity. Also, that wasn't in that article, but Kojima Productions did confirm they now own the full rights to the Death Stranding IP, which is crazy because I thought... Well, Sony did own it because Colin talked about this on the podcast because he went and looked at like the trademark filing stuff and it still shows Sony as the owner. This was, the end of last week. He said those things can take months to whatever. So maybe it was that Sony, but I don't know why you would put it like Sony owns it for 5 years and then we get it.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Do you care? No. I know. Did you watch Penguin? No. I know. It's just weird. I think this definitely means that Death Stranding 2 will eventually come to Xbox. 100% I believe that. It'll come to PC first, like this did. It'll end up coming to Xbox. I'm pretty sure. The game is console exclusive to Sony. We know that. But now we know that it's really... We don't know for sure, but it's a timed console exclusive. That time could be 5 years. Who knows? Also, I can't believe that game came out 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
I went into that game like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then I was like, this is my game of the year. Sorry, Sean. So, yeah, that's that. Sean. Been a nice, meaty episode. Big, meaty men slapping meat.
Big, meaty podcast.
Let's get to the wrap-up, Sean. Nintendo's finally starting to talk a very tiny, tiny bit about Switch 2, Super Switch, whatever you want to call it. They confirmed it will be backwards compatible. We all say backwards compatible. There's no S. Right? Isn't it just backward compatible? The S can be there, but it does not need to be. I mean, it does not need to be. Correct? Backward compatible. We all say backwards compatible.
I'm going backwards.
We all say words.
That's how you talk.
That's how it is. That was
I don't
Metal Gear
know.
Solid 5. It's all about words.
That's a good question.
But they confirmed it's backwards compatible. They also confirmed Switch Online is going to continue. So this isn't going to be like...
Yeah, I hope that means not just that Switch Online will continue to exist. It will continue from where it's at. We're not going to start over again.
All right, guys. We're launching
Here's
Switch 2
5
with
NES games.
Mario 1 and Zelda 1. No. So we're not going to have the issue where the Virtual Console on Wii was awesome, and then Wii U was like, sorry, you got to buy it again. Yeah. And then they're like, Switch comes out, we don't even have a Virtual Console, so good luck. Here's Switch Online, subscribe to us and play them. So at least this seems like Nintendo is finally... Sony still doesn't have a good plan in place for their old games, as we'll talk about here at the end. I'm just glad it's backwards compatible. Now, I will say, they didn't say... Because they did talk about Nintendo accounts are what are helping us make the games backwards compatible. You could also just make it so the cart works. Like, this isn't... You had to have Nintendo accounts to be able to fix this, really? But they didn't say anything about physical games. Now, I am now digital all the way, unless I get a game as a gift or it's on super sale, whatever.
I think I have like 5 or 6 physical Switch games.
Oh, my God. Really? Well, I've got games for my kids and stuff, like 3 Pokemons and stuff. I've got like 30 at least.
Oh, I've got, I don't know, maybe more than 5. Less than 10. I mean.
Did you do Zelda? Did you do Tears of the Kingdom digital? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Also, they did this weird chart that they put out to show how well Switch is doing, as if 145 million units didn't say how well it's doing. They're like, what we want to do is to show you, our investors, that when you compare some of our first-party series to see how much better the Switch is, let's do this. Let's compare red apples to green apples, at least. I'm not going to say apples to oranges, although it pretty much is. Let's compare across Pikmin, Kirby, Metroid, and Xenoblade Chronicles, randomly, franchises. Let's compare what they sold on Wii U and 3DS.
Combined,
okay, compared to the Switch. The Switch has sold 145 million units. Those two combined are somewhere around 85 million. But sure, let's compare them. Pikmin on those two consoles sold 1.78 million copies. On the Switch, 7.86 million. Now you got to remember, they put out Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 on Switch. Then Pikmin 4 came out. There's 4 games. There wasn't 4 Pikmin games on those two consoles. But sure. So 1.78.
But this is meant for your investors who are probably not that plugged into the... So it's a savvy move.
Because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Kirby, respectable 5.62 million versus 15 million on Switch. There's been multiple Kirby games. I don't know what... There was the Kirby Planet Robobot on 3DS. I remember that because Casey or Nick or somebody wanted that. Metroid. This is just depressing. On 3DS and Wii U, 0.98 million.
Well, were there any on Wii U? Oh, they probably did like Prime, like.
Did Corruption come? Didn't the Wii?
Corruption was Wii, but they may have also released it on Wii U. There was no new Metroid games.
There
on
wasn't,
Wii U.
because they didn't do any remastered stuff until Switch.
And 3DS only had the one.
Samus Returns didn't even sell 1 million. I don't understand how Metroid games are so friggin' good and no one buys them. No. Compared to the Switch, 4.99 million. Just say 5. That's counting Dread, which was my game of the year in 21. I think it's the best 2D Metroid game ever made. James disagrees. That's fine. He came. And Prime Remastered. The internet blew up when they shadow dropped Prime Remastered. And you combine that with Metroid Dread, which came out 3 years ago, and you can't even hit 5 million. It's just depressing. I don't understand what is wrong with gamers. And then Xenoblade Chronicles, 1.41 million versus 7.17 million. I just had to talk about this because I love sales numbers and stuff. This was the weirdest chart I think I've ever seen.
But like, You can make the same point, I'm guessing, with Zelda, Mario. If you're talking to your investors who are not that, they're going to be like, what is a Xenoblade Chronicles? Like, give them Mario. Give them Zelda. You can make the same points.
Mario Kart has sold 68 million copies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you really count every game that had Mario in the title,
which
it's
they
probably
wouldn't
sold
do.
like 500 million.
But just count Mario Wonder. What else did they do? Mario
Odyssey.
U Deluxe, Odyssey, duh, and then Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. That's probably
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker 2. That's at least 50 million. Probably 60 or 70 million compared to Mario Maker and Mario Maker, Mario U, New Super Mario 2 on 3DS. Is that it?
I mean, even if you had a 1-to-1 attach rate on the Wii U for every
wouldn't-
title, it's
yeah.
only a couple million. Like, and 3DS had a Mario Maker game that sucked.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mario Maker and Mario Maker.
Yeah. New Soup.
New
3D World.
Right. Oh, yeah, 3D World. I forgot about that. So 5 games.
But like,
But still.
I'm guessing it outsold them. Just those
And
titles.
New Super
like,
Luigi U.
platform Mario games.
Yeah. Combined.
Tenfold, probably.
Odyssey outsold them by itself.
Yeah.
But if you put Zelda, you've got 30-something million for Breath of the Wild, 20 million for Tears of the Kingdom, plus Link's Awakening remake, plus now Cadence of High... Why do I keep calling it that? Echoes of Wisdom, compared to Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD, Triforce Heroes, and A Link Between Worlds. That's it, right? Oh, no. Majora's Mask 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D.
Yeah.
But still, those 6 games or whatever I just said
Maybe
doesn't equal those
10
2.
million?
It doesn't even
Maybe?
equal... If you just take Tears of the Kingdom and Link's Awakening remake, I don't think they surpass that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It is weird the series that they chose. First item on the wrap up, I just spent like 10 minutes on it. All right. Let's wrap this up. Got some PlayStation sales updates as well as of September 30th, the end of their fiscal year 25 Q2. PS5 has hit 65.5 million units sold. Great number, but it is down 29% year over year compared to Q2 the previous year. PS4 was at 67.5 million sales at the same point in its life cycle. They were neck and neck, I feel like, the last time we got one of these updates. It's starting to lag behind. Now,
Yeah.
PS5 Pro's out. That thing is...
But until like a
selling
year
out.
ago, you didn't really give anybody a reason to buy a PS5.
Have they yet?
I mean, they're just finally starting to. Like,
I mean, Rift Apart came out in 21, but Ratchet doesn't sell very well. That's not a system seller.
Right,
I
yeah.
do say College Football 25 was a system seller for sure.
Yeah.
And on Xbox as well, I assume as well, too. God, I can't talk.
don't talk.
Astrobot, when did that come? Was it August? Why am I talking like that? Was it August or was it September?
I think it was September.
1.5 million units sold. Good. What was that? That was
Why
$60
did that not
or
sell
50?
like 5 million? Like,
I know.
I don't.
I
get
do
it.
think I think that is one game that once when Christmas comes around,
that's gonna have legs for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
especially because you want to buy your kids video games. If they don't have this yet, you're going to buy it. What am I trying to say? You're going to buy it physically also. Like,
Yeah.
I think it should have sold a lot more, but 1.5 million times $60 is 65 million. I'm guarantee it's already profitable. What did I say?
90 million.
Oh yeah, that's not how numbers work. At 90 million, there's no way that game costs more than 90 million. You know what I mean? So like,
Right, yeah.
even if it only sells 3 million lifetime or something, that's very profitable for Sony.
Yeah.
Monthly active users were up 8%, total playtime up 14%, and subscription revenue, PlayStation Plus, was up 18% year over year. They did also commit that they are going to be releasing at least one single-player first-party game per year for the foreseeable future. Thank you. So we know Ghost of Yotei is next year.
We hope.
They said it is.
Yeah.
Is there going to be anything else from first party? Probably not.
Probably Horizon 2 remake.
there's rumors going around. I didn't put it in here. That also there's a bunch of Resident Evil 9 rumors going around. Did you read that stuff?
We need to get something very soon.
It sounds friggin' awesome. But usually those games have always come out in January, so I'm like, this better not.
We
be
would have
another
heard about
year
it by
away.
now.
No, I know. I'm saying it better.
Yeah.
I hope it's just maybe a April game or something. Like, well, Resident Evil 4 was March, I think. And they said they are going to keep experimenting with games as a service. They're going to take what they've learned from Helldivers and Concord and go from there. They're really just trying to Concord, that didn't even... We don't need to talk about that. Hiroki Totoki got asked like 3 different times about Concord. Colin was talking about this like on the financial call because it's public, because they're a publicly traded company. You can listen to the investor calls and stuff, and they're in Japanese, and they're trying to like translate it in real time, but there's a lot gets lost in translation, and they never go back and translate it, so you don't really know what's being said. But apparently Hiroki Totoki was like, after he got asked about Concord the 3rd time, he's like, I feel like I'm repeating myself. And it's like, you're not answering what the hell happened.
Yeah.
Game Awards Game of the Year nominees were announced. We will do our predictions next week. Game of the Year nominees are, and this made a lot of people mad for a lot of different reasons, and you people just have too much free time on your hands. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Shadow the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantasio.
Okay, if ever it was not obvious already, they clearly... I like Balatro. But they've clearly got some kind of deal.
They have an edict.
Internal policy where it's like,
we have
to
an
put
indie
one
game.
indie game on every year.
Yes.
I like Balatro. It's fun. It does not belong on that list.
I would never call it. It's not going to be. I don't know that it's going to make my top 10. Like, I had fun with it, but like I played 2 hours, 3 hours. I haven't gone back to it. But what people are mad about, they're not mad about Balatro. They're mad about Shadow the Erdtree.
Yeah.
And what I wrote down here, because I didn't want to forget this. Also, sorry, Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth are tied for the most nominations. I don't remember anybody complaining when the winner at the Game Awards in 2016 for Best RPG was The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, the expansion. Now, were you not mad because it wasn't Game of the Year? It was just Best RPG. It might have been nominated for Best Game in 2016. Freaking Overwatch won, okay? It was that, Uncharted 4. There was not a lot out that year, so it probably did get nominated for Game of the Year if I go back and look at it. Nobody was mad then. I was like, I'm so confused. But since then, I've just accepted it.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Erdtree is going to be my top 10 list. It's going to be very near the top. It's like a 50-hour DLC.
So I feel like I don't think this is a new thing. Obviously, they called it out ahead of time. They're like, by the way, just so you know, DLCs are eligible. I'm like, okay. I'm guessing they probably always have been. It's like the meme with the guy with the gun, the astronaut. Like,
Blood and
always
Wine
has been.
Yeah.
But this is a weak year.
Yeah.
This is the year where a DLC deserves to be. And yeah, it's a DLC, but like it can kind of stand alone on its. I mean, it can't.
You
because
can't
need
buy
to
it
play
separately,
so far.
but,
blah blah blah. But like, it is huge. This game. First of all, if you're complaining about it,
you didn't
make a
play
better
it.
game.
Also,
like,
that
if your game isn't even better than a game that's just an add-on to an existing game, make better games. But this game, I know it's a DLC, but you can make an argument that it is every bit
It's almost
as
Elden
much
Ring 2.
a standalone game as like
the main
what was
game.
the one I was thinking of? Well, yeah, but like sacrilege, but like Majora's Mask.
Right.
That's basically Ocarina again, but here's a new place for you to explore. That's what this game is. Sorry. God of War Ragnarok. It uses, and I'm not blaming them for it, but it uses all the old... like, they reuse so much of that. The main world is the same world from before. It's just covered in snow now. There's new areas.
And
but
you've got the other realms, right?
This game is every bit as much new content as either of those games are.
I spent more time playing Shadow of the Erdtree than I did God of War Ragnarok, and I got the platinum in that.
Yeah. So I have zero problem with it.
I just don't. People just care way too much about things, I guess. I don't know. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Part 3, it was announced, has a complete plot. It's done, and it's now in full production. That kind of sounds depressing, but also they said they were thinking about switching to Unreal 5 because that would make development faster. I don't know how switching from 4 to 5 is going to make it faster. I would think that would slow you down. But I don't know how porting stuff from Unreal to Unreal works, so I don't know. I think we're going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to be doing, like you just said, God of War. We're going to be revisiting a lot in Part 3. Okay.
There's another continent. There's the northern continent. There's not a whole lot to there's the crater, and there's like a town. But other than that,
don't we have to go to Nuketown, or that's Call of Duty? What's it called? Rocket Town, Rocket League?
Town. Yeah, I forgot Rocket Town. So, but we should have been able to go there. It exists in the area we've already seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go back to there's Medial. We haven't gone to Medial yet, but you go back to a lot of places in this last chapter. So
I guess what I'm saying is, I feel like the development going from remake to rebirth, you're going
that's a much bigger step than 2 to 3.
You're going from just Midgar and everything. There's no open world. There's no open zone or whatever they call it, Sonic Frontiers. There's none of that. It's very straightforward. You can revisit areas and stuff, but you go from A to B to C to D to beat that game.
What's weird is, assuming they don't stray too far, you go back to Midgar.
Oh.
Now,
really?
If you try, obviously you're going to be kind of shoehorned.
Yeah.
You're not just going to be able to go back to all of Remake. Here's Midgar again. Go wherever you want. They can't do that.
Go up on the plates and
So you'll go back to Midgar. You go back to what's the place with the big gun with the Junon. Mm-hmm. You go back to all these places.
Really?
So,
okay.
It's
Junon in Rebirth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The big cannon thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hopeful this comes out in 28.
I'm
Maybe
thinking it's 27, but I'm an idiot. I'm guessing. But
I think 27 is possible.
Because
I think it will probably be 28
in February, or was it April? It came out early this year.
I think it was April.
So that's 3.5 years to get it out in 27. I feel like that's enough.
That should be.
I don't know.
But if they just now figured out the plot, I guess you can be working on other stuff in the meantime
I'm sure,
before you know where the story's going.
Exactly. Did you see the thing about how Aonuma, speaking of story, they just create the Zelda game first, and then they make a story fit into it? Yeah. James said, well, if you played Skyward Sword, that would make sense. I'm like, I thought Skyward Sword had a good story, but that's also a funny thing to say because Skyward Sword is Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
But people hate this. Some people hate the story. A lot of people hate the story in Tears of the Kingdom. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was by far the best
in any Zelda game
story.
ever.
Not
also,
even close.
They complain you get the tears out of order. Yes, I got them out of order. I don't even remember this, but apparently there's something that you read. You find a map or something. So if you want to go in order, you can. I thought it was just as cool getting the story in bits and pieces and putting it all together the way I got it. People are dumb. PS5 is discounted to $380 until Christmas. So that's $80 off. $70 off.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Also, PS5 Pro is out and not sold out. Half-Life 2 just had its 20th anniversary and a 20th anniversary update. There's a new documentary in it. Episodes 1 and 2 have now been added to the main game. There's developer commentary added. It's along with other updates. Sean and I found also that there's a remastered patch coming, so I just added it to my Steam library. I'm guessing this could definitely run Half-Life 2. 20-year-old game better be able to.
Yes.
Also, it broke its own. It broke its Steam concurrent record 20 years after it came out. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Metal Gear Solid Master Collection has been updated with the one thing Sean complains about. You can edit the controls. You can now have L2 aim and R2 shoot in Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. Kind of weird that they didn't put it into one. I don't know why, but whatever. Maybe it's because you can go first person in 2 and 3, but you can't 1. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Also, the worst kept secret ever was the voice actor for Eva in Metal Gear Solid 3, who was said to be Suzette Minette. I forget how you say it. Everyone always knew there was no Suzette Minette. That was not a real person. It was a pseudonym. Also, everybody knew for the longest time that it was this lady named Jodie Benson, who was the voice of Ariel in The Little Mermaid. You didn't know it because you don't care, but it's been known in the community, in the culture of Metal Gear. Tommy DeVito, I'm going to win some games and screw you out of a draft pick again. He went to Syracuse. I love the guy, but I fucking hate him. GTA, the trilogy, the definitive edition, just randomly got a huge surprise patch, which has fixed all the graphic issues. Like,
I'm tempted.
I am now. When I've seen the side-by-sides in the videos,
like.
have you seen it?
I saw stills. I haven't seen a video.
It's like, holy crap. Like, they went from, like, you can see from here to the equator because there's no clouds, there's no fog or anything, and the coloring is weird to... Holy shit, it looks amazing. Now there's clouds. You can fly through clouds now. There's fog. It looks so much better. It makes me want to go back to it. Also, Grove Street Games is mad because they were removed from the credits. I'm kind of like, you completely fucked this game up? You're lucky you got credited at all. So that's my thoughts. Remedy said some updates. Alan Wake 2 has sold 1.8 million. That's sadder than Astrobot selling 1.5 because it's out on everything and it's been out for like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Control Ultimate Edition is coming to Mac in February. They announced that Control 2 is going to be an action RPG. Interesting. All that means is you're going to level up in it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, God of War is an action RPG. Horizon is an action. Like, almost every game is an action RPG.
But I guess shooty,
Last
shooty,
of Us
bang,
is
bang.
an action RPG.
You don't think of action RPGs as shooty, shooty, bang, bang games with, like, telekinetic powers and stuff. I don't know.
I guess.
Maybe that's why they're saying it. Also, it's getting a free update with some unreleased content. PlayStation Portal has now added cloud streaming beta for up to 125 PS5 games. So now instead of streaming games only from your PS5, first off, they lock it behind PS Plus Premium because Sony. But you can stream games that you've purchased digitally from the cloud directly to your thing instead of having to stream through your PS5.
What is the difference? I mean, I know literally what the difference is, but like, why is that? So what? If you own it already, what does it matter if you're streaming from your PlayStation or the cloud?
Because if Nick is down here playing Black Ops and I want to play Castlevania Dominus, even if I have a Portal, there's nothing I can do because I have to stream it from that PS5 that he's using.
Okay, yeah.
It's how it should have been all along, but it's a good update. Stellar Blade is coming to PC in 2025. They think it's actually going to sell better there than it did on PS5. I would say that's probably because you bunch of perverts that have PCs and you make mods, correct? Is that what you were thinking?
Yes.
Sega has announced a new Virtua Fighter is in development. I did not expect this. I can't remember if 5 was the last one or if they did make a 6. 5 was on PS Plus a couple years ago, and I played it, and I was like, this is really cool, but I think I'm okay right now.
Yeah, I don't need that.
The producer for Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, the producer said he wants to make a Final Fantasy VI HD 2D remake. That would be freaking
If they do that, that's when I will finally sit down and play the whole thing.
Dragon Quest III HD 2D, they kept calling it HD 2D in this thing I was reading. I thought it was 2D HD. No, that sounds
2D.
stupid too.
Yeah.
Anyways, this game apparently is hard as balls, and like
Really?
people are like not happy because they're like, I suck. Like the games were difficult back when we grew up.
Okay, so it's similar to the original.
Yes.
They didn't make it harder.
They're just not used to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Warcraft 1 and 2 Remastered was announced at Warcraft Con or something. It's out now on Steam. Or no, it's out on Battle.net or whatever it's called. Blizzard.net. What the hell is it called? Battle.net, yeah. As part of the Battle Chest or something. Atomfall. It's out March 27th. This is the game that looks like it's kind of like... This is the game where the key art is like post-apocalypse, but then it's like in London and there's like one of the red telephone booth things. It's kind of like it's not like what's it called? It's not BioShock like Judas's BioShock, but it gives me that vibe. Whatever happened to that other one? That one game that was coming out on Xbox, Clockwork something that looks like a straight up BioShock game. Where is that?
I don't even remember that.
You will if you looked it up. That sounded really judgmental. I'm sorry about that. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop is hitting last gen on December 2nd. Truth be told, I thought this was already on last gen. Came out in September. I assumed it came out on everything. I didn't know this was a current gen exclusive. Yeah. Hitman World of Assassination. Fucking mother. Assassination Donkey Lips is coming to PSVR 2, but it has been delayed from, I think it was January to now March 2025. Final Fantasy 14 is coming to mobile. This is another one where I kind of thought it was already there because this is an Xbox. You can play it everywhere, I thought. PS Plus extra lineup for November was announced. My God, we've almost gone 2 hours. That's what she said. No, she didn't. PS Plus extra for November includes GTA 5. That was there before. It went away. Now it's back.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I researched it because I was like, I'm pretty sure this used to be.
But is this the remaster one that you had? The PS. Well,
this is the PS5.
It's the PS5.
Yep.
So yeah.
Now, they're trying to get people hyped for a year from now. You don't need to try.
The hype is there.
Dying Light 2. Like a Dragon Ishin. MotoGP 24. That's a game that I feel like I would want to try just because I used to love motorcycle racing games. But I think this is like the Gran Turismo of motorcycle racers. And I don't want that. I want like Super Hang-On.
I just had a weird
Road
flashback
Rash.
to some old motorcycle.
MotoGP. No.
It was on our PC back, maybe not back in the Micron days, but maybe like the compact. There's some motorcycle game.
You're not thinking of Need for Speed?
No. It's specifically motorcycles. That would have been early 2000s. I want to try to look it up.
Did Road Rash ever come to PC?
No.
I still cannot remember. There was a game that came with my Dell PC, my Inspiron, whatever it was, that our parents bought me when I went to college that had a zip drive. Y'all youngins probably don't even know what a zip drive is.
Yeah.
But it came with a game that was like this top-down isometric like sci-fi shooter with blood and guts and everywhere, and I thought the graphics looked awesome back then. All I can remember is that I thought the game was called Rage something, but the only Rage game I've ever found is like the Rage whatever it's called, like the Xbox game, whatever. So I don't know what it was called, but I wish I could find that game. If anybody knows what it is and you're still listening, let me know. Sims 4, Island Living, Overcooked All You Can Eat, Chivalry 2, and more. PS Plus Premium in November is getting Synapse on PSVR 2. Oh, you don't have Premium anymore. I keep forgetting that.
No,
that game looks cool as hell.
Yeah, I think...
this was the game... I think David Hayter's in this game, from what I remember. But it's a first-person... Oh, of course, it's VR. But it's like a first-person shooter, kind of like psychedelic, like telekinetic, control-esque thing, I think. It looks cool as hell. Also, we get the PS1 version of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2 on PS2. Of course, now remember, Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain is coming out imminently, I think. And I'm interested in that, the 1 and 2 HD thing, because those are supposed to be cool, and I've never played them. Also, guess what's coming to PS Plus Premium? Resistance Fall of Man and Resistance 2 for PS3. Oh, guess what? They're never going to let you stream. They're never going to let you play games natively. These are streaming only. Are you fucking kidding me? We can finally play Resistance on PS5. Guess what? It's streaming only. Also, guess what? You can't even buy it separately. You have to do PS Plus Premium.
I found it.
What is it?
Moto Racer. I mean, it's a pretty basic game, but I remember we had it, or I had it. Maybe it was after you.
Think this must have been. Holy crap! That is smooth.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember this.
But yeah, this is 100% the game I was thinking of.
Is this the PC? Is this the PC version, or is this?
I think so. Yeah.
What is the thumbnail? Does it have the box art or anything?
No, but they showed the title screen. That.
Oh.
Does that look familiar?
Full D 3D version?
I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's the game.
Maybe that came out on other stuff too, because that looks familiar as hell. That's it for episode 370. Very long episode of the Two Player Co-op podcast. Definitely too tired to go record a bonus episode, but we'll do that another time. Thank you all so much for being here. This was a really fun episode. Go play Mario and Luigi Brothership if you have not already. But until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out. Gabagool.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you for playing.